Hello, welcome to Michelle Says Again. I'm Michelle. I am bringing to you today a tag challenge that was posted in a Facebook group that I'm a part of, and it is called 5 Questions, 1 Take. I think the name is pretty self-explanatory, but I have to answer 5 specific questions in 1 take. So let's see if I can make this happen. All right, question number 1. What has your sewing journey looked like? So I started sewing, or I learned how to sew when I was in college. It was a class, it was a required class for my major. I was a business administration major with a minor in merchandising. My goal was to be a buyer for a department store, which I did end up achieving. But with that minor, I was required to take a sewing class, and I loved it. So I sewed way more garments than I was required to for the class. I actually also worked full-time while I went to school full-time, and I had to dress appropriately for my job. So I sewed a lot of skirts and a few dresses for work. And so I sewed for a couple of years. My boyfriend in college actually bought me a sewing machine for Christmas that year, and I used that machine for a few years. And then life happened, and I just got busier with work, and sewing just kind of fell by the wayside. And I picked it up again last year in March of 2020 after my office closed down for COVID. So I was lucky. I didn't get furloughed. I still had a job, but I was working remotely from home. And so I had gotten rid of my sewing machine by that point. So I decided to buy a new sewing machine. I bought some fabric, and I just started, and I haven't stopped since. So that's kind of been my sewing journey. Question number 2, describe your sewing space. So I am very lucky. I realized that. My husband and I, we moved to Miami last year. We got a 3-bedroom condo, and one of the extra bedrooms is my sewing/crafting room. And so I will link in the cards here. I actually did a tour of my sewing space last week or the week before, I forget now, it's all running together. But I have a room that is dedicated to my sewing and crafting. I don't share it with anybody. My husband never even walks in there unless I get a package, and he's like, that's where he puts packages that I get delivered. I have, a table for my sewing machine and serger. I have a cutting table. I have a big, huge TV so I can watch other sewing YouTubers while I'm sewing. And then I have storage space for all my fabric and my yarn and my sewing patterns and things like that. So super lucky to have a pretty decent sized space for my sewing. Number 3, what is it like being a sewing YouTuber? I read this question, and I'm not sure how to answer it. I love doing this. I started this because I wanted people to talk to about sewing, because I didn't know anybody in my real life. And I thought, rather than just commenting on other people's YouTube videos, this was a way for me to talk about the things I wanted to talk about and get some interaction with other people. So that is what it's like for me. I kind of feel like this is just me and my circle of friends chit-chatting about sewing. It feels anonymous and yet very community driven all at the same time, if that even makes sense. And I just love it. I love interacting with people in the comments. I love the regulars that I have that I'm getting to know just through their comments and their sharing of their stories when I share my stories. And I just love it. I'm still very, very small in terms of channel. And I think that kind of helps it be very community-like, and it makes me very happy. All right, question number 4. Describe your most memorable project. So this one, I haven't really done anything major. I haven't made a wedding dress or, a special occasion garment or anything like that. I guess my most memorable is probably my Molly jacket that I made, only because I was a little bit intimidated by that because it was reversible. It ended up being very simple. It was not the most complicated garment that I've made, but I love it so much. I love most of what I make, to be honest with you. That's what makes sewing so much fun, is that I get to use the patterns and the fabric combinations that resonate with me. And that Molly jacket, the reversible nature of that, I just was very proud of that. Yeah, I haven't done anything that's been super involved or super complicated yet, but I'm working up to it. Number 5, what is one quote, saying, piece of advice you've gotten that resonates with your sewing/YouTube success? For me, I would have to say that there's a quote or a saying, I'm sure that you've all heard it, that says, sewing is my therapy. That is 100% true for me. So when I'm stressed or not feeling well or sad or happy, like it doesn't matter what my mood is, if I'm in the sewing room, like it makes me happy. And I feel like that is what makes me come across as authentic in my YouTube channel, because 99% of what I'm sewing are things that I've chosen. I do have a couple of things that are kind of have-to-dos, and I really try to make those also things that I enjoy doing. I have gotten to where I did a few test garments, and I did that more for the test experience than for the garment. And I did enjoy the test experience, but I didn't love the garments that I made. So now that I've got that out of my system, I'm not opposed to testing, but I'm absolutely only going to test things that I plan on wearing myself, because when you are testing, you're still using fabric that you've purchased with your own money. You're still using precious sewing time, so you should enjoy it. So I'm definitely only going to choose testing projects that I enjoy, because like I said, like everything that I do, it's all about relaxation for me. This is my hobby. I want to enjoy every moment of it, and I don't ever want it to become a chore. The reality is, even when I did my 30 videos in 30 days, I enjoyed that whole experience. Even though like it was a commitment and it was kind of a have to do, I had it planned out well enough that I was doing videos that I enjoyed doing and that I thought would bring value to other people. So that to me is the biggest takeaway is even if you don't have a YouTube channel, sewing should be therapy, sewing should be fun. I have a couple of things, like I need to mend a pair of jeans for my husband. That's not necessarily going to be fun, but it's not going to take a lot of time either. Refashions, I think I just need to reframe how I think about it. So I have my wide strap maxi, and it's not really a refashion. I guess that's really more mending, because I need to fix it so that it fits better. Once I finish a garment, like having to go back to it seems a little like boring to me, but if I just need to reframe how I think about it, and that I am gonna love wearing it because it now fits me. So thinking about it more as the end product rather than the journey, in that case, I think is good. Most of the time, the journey to me is just as much fun as having the end product. So that's me in a nutshell. I purposely didn't watch anybody else's video yet because I didn't want to be influenced by their answers. I wanted mine to be authentic to me. And this is a pretty quick video, so I haven't gone super in depth. If there's anything in these questions that you would like more information from me on, then share in the comments and I'll be sure to answer you. I try very, very hard to answer all the comments. I will tell you that there are times where comments show up in my email box, and then I go to reply to them in the comment section of the video and they're not there. I don't know why that happens. Sometimes I assume it's because somebody has deleted their comment, but I feel like there's something else to it. I think I heard from somebody that if you're not signed in through a Google account to make your comments that they don't show up, but I don't know that that makes sense to me because not everybody has Gmail. So I'm not sure why that happens, but there are definitely times where somebody has made a comment, I've seen it in email, but then I'm not able to respond to it in the comment section. So if I haven't responded to you, then try again, or my email is always in my description box. So if you've been commenting and I haven't responded to you, then shoot me an email and I will see if I can figure out why that's happening. So that's it for me, guys. Wherever you are, I hope the weather is amazing. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time. Bye.